Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nisarius. Thanks for hanging out here with me today. So let's talk about the Exalted update. First of all, I do want to say this is actually my second time recording this video. The first time I recorded it, it came across as much more negative than I intended it to. So before we get started at all, I do want to say that my thoughts are generally more positive than they are negative, and quite a bit so. That said, there are definitely some negatives. So let's kind of start with, I think, probably for most people going to be the biggest feature of the update, which is the shard system, right? This is kind of the big one, right? Because actual gameplay variance between the different plates. And also, real quick, I do want to say, so you know, in terms of what kind of experience, I've spent about 13 hours playing the Exalted update at this point. I've done, I don't know, quite a few runs of the Spirit Realm, maybe 6 or so. Mostly solo. I am on PC, and it is hard to find people to do Spirit Realm on PC at the moment. But I have done, you know, a good chunk of Spirit Realm. In terms of the Exalted Tower, I reached floor 5 solo, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, let's talk about the shards. First things first. They're fun. There's a lot of cool effects you get out of them. Every frame definitely has some really different stuff, and you can definitely feel a difference in gameplay, right? Sorry about that. Sorry about the creaking. Just adjusting my mic a bit. But there are some problems. First of all, there are definitely some balance problems. Some of the shards are really weak. Some of the shards are really, really strong. Which, you know, hopefully they'll kind of tweak things to make things a little bit more balanced. But I think one of the more important things I want to talk about in terms of shards is the unlock requirements. And let me put it like this. I'm probably going to be inside the video, but I think you're going to hear a lot in this video going forward is a bit much. It's just a bit much. And I think that sums up the unlock requirements for the shards perfectly. They're just a bit much. Even for me, as you know, someone who's been playing for about 3 months consistently now, it's a bit much. So, you know, and I would consider myself like a veteran player, right? At this point, it's a bit much. Even as a veteran player, it's a bit much. To a new player, unlocking the shards is going to be a daunting task, right? And I don't know how many newer players are actually going to stick around long enough to unlock the shards. And actually get to experience some of the gameplay diversity those actually bring to the table. And I think that's a pretty big flaw. Another thing I do want to talk about is I've had some issues with actually unlocking these. This should be unlocked, actually. Let me tell you about a realm run I did. And apparently this is tied to matchmaking and multiplayer, so for the run where I'm talking about, I went to this, and I went to matchmaking, and I tried to queue in the people, and I got no one, right? I got put into a match by myself. And what ended up happening was I did 2 overcharged events, everything was fine. I did a 3rd overcharged event, and it didn't drop an Elder Soul. It just didn't drop a soul at all. So I did another one, and it did drop it. I put it in the last overcharged Elder Soul, and I did the 15 magnitude boss. And I was like, all right, we're good here. Let's get out. I get back, you know, to here, and this is unlocked. The overcharged boss kill didn't count, and none of the 4 overcharged events I did in that run counted. So I think you may have to do the either it's a bug related to me getting put into a match solo, or you might have to unlock these shards solo. And that's definitely a bit much for for new players, right? And this is where on topic. Let's actually talk about Spirit Realm. And fair warning, I am mostly a solo player, right? I've been playing the game mostly solo for most of my playtime, and I was kind of planning to do so for this update as well. The Spirit Realm is the most incredibly unsolo player friendly thing in the game, by far. Doing Spirit Realm solo is tedious, it takes forever, and it's incredibly unfun. it takes like an hour to do a single round of Spirit Realm with overcharged events solo. It's incredibly unfun, and I wouldn't say it's worth your time. That said, I'm sure if you get a group of players together, especially if you get 6 players together, you can probably just blow through the Spirit Realm, right? And you'll have a good time. So that's a solo player issue, and not one I'm going to, bear too much grudge against, like that, right? But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the Spirit Realm. The mechanics are kind of annoying for solo players, but other than that, they're fine, right? I do like that it's a repeatable thing, so you can keep ramping up difficulty, but that's pretty much all I had to say about that. And there is one more thing. Actually, there is one more thing I want to touch about on shards. There's one more thing I want to touch about, and this is upgrading your shards, right? So to upgrade your shards, you have to unlock a certain number of shards across all plates, right? So you see, need 4 shards, and I need 6 more shards. So these are the only 2 shards I've unlocked at this point. Although I should have this one unlocked as well. It's a bit much. Again, it's a bit much. It's just a bit much. Same for the Spirit Realm. The soul collecting stuff is just a bit much. And now let's kind of go to, I guess, the last topic to actually 2 more topics I want to cover. But next, let's talk about the Exalted Tower. I'm conflicted. On one hand, it's nice to have actual difficult content that isn't reliant on Bane's Word to be difficult. On the other hand, especially as a solo player, and I suspect this is going to remain mostly true for all but even the best players, it's a bit much in terms of difficulty. And so if you're wondering how I was able to get through to floor 5 as a solo player, well, let me show you. There's a certain little thing you can do with longsword specifically. So is this completely invulnerable, right? Completely invulnerable. Still invulnerable. Still invulnerable. Rinse and repeat. That's how I did it. And that's going to be the primary method currently. There's just a bit too much, right? There's, like in the elevator trials, there's just a bit too many enemies to really get away with doing much else. In the boss rooms, maybe you could get away with it until, other mini bosses start spawning and, add spawn. And again, it's just a bit much. And it kind of, at least currently, maybe once I get new stuff from the, I progress further in the Exalted update, maybe I'll have a build strong enough I can get away without doing that. But certainly for the foreseeable future, the way I will be doing the Exalted Tower is spamming longsword technique in the timing attack and the longsword technique in the timing attack, rinse and repeat ad infinitum, because it can. And it's not very fun. It's not very fun. So yeah, Exalted Tower, a bit much for now. My opinion on this might change. We'll have to see in the future. There'll definitely be an updated review in probably a week or 2. And now, actually the last thing I want to talk about. Oh, loadout slots are Pog. Really not to get loadout slots. That's just kind of an afterthought though. But actual last topic I want to talk about, the inventory reworks. Mostly really nice. Actual, sorting, actual filtering. There is one thing I really dislike. If you've played the game before, you're going to notice something missing. Weapon previews over here on the side. They're gone. They're gone. Now for me, this is terrible. So let me tell you, so I try to keep my inventory, or at least up until now, I have been trying to keep my inventory fairly clean. And the way I do so is essentially, I'd start here with my new stuff, And I'd right click and I'd drag, I'd look at the roll of each weapon, and if I liked the roll, I'd, you know, clear that off. And that's how I clear my inventory, right? Well, I can't do that anymore. So, probably just gonna not bother to clean my inventory anymore because there's no quick way for me to check the rolls I get, right? Which is pretty unfortunate, especially for augments. This is brutal for augments, not being able to just, you know, hover over these and see the roll. Never cleaning my augments again, let me put it like that. I'm just not. Unfortunately. Lots of little progression bugs here and there. I think they're all mostly server related, so hopefully they can smooth those out. Hopefully. New cosmetics. Some of them are really, really sick. Right? Some of the new cosmetics are really sick. And you don't buy them when you unlock them. That's really nice. But some new cosmetics are just awesome. Like, oh, dude, look at some of these swords. Yeah, new cosmetics are really good. Is there anything I haven't talked about yet? I feel like I've touched on mostly everything. Shard balance. Yeah. So sum it up real quick. Mostly positive, but a lot of things are just a bit much. And I think that about cover it for my initial thoughts of the update. So, hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, take it easy.